Did you know that music was once used as a secret weapon in espionage? In this episode of Historical Hidden Gems, we're diving into the fascinating story of a World War II spy who used a song to send secret messages. You won't believe how brilliantly it worked. This is the story of one of the most ingenious tactics from the world of espionage that changed the course of history forever. It starts with Vera Kuras, a little-known but incredibly resourceful Soviet intelligence officer. Born in 1914 in the small town of Ryazan, Russia, Vera was a polyglot who spoke fluent French, German, English, and Russian. Her linguistic abilities and quick intelligence made her a valuable asset in the world of espionage. During the tumultuous years leading up to and during World War II, Vera became a trusted agent for the Soviet spy network. Her task? Infiltrate German military ranks and bring back critical information to aid the Allies. But how does one send critical information without arousing suspicion in an era where intercepting mail and communications was routine? Vera found a way in music. In 1941, as tensions across Europe escalated, Vera was stationed in Paris, pretending to be a music teacher. This was a perfect cover, as it allowed her to interact with various people, from German officers to local Parisians, without raising alarms. She'd bring her violin with her everywhere, a seemingly innocuous tool of her trade. But it wasn't just for show. Here's the clever part. Vera would compose musical pieces that contained hidden messages encoded in the melody. The secret coding worked using a system called musical ciphering. In this technique, every note on the musical scale corresponded to a letter of the alphabet or a number. By creatively crafting her compositions, Vera could send coded messages without needing pen and paper. Imagine writing an entire report with just a string instrument. Once the piece was composed, she would play for her contacts or even openly perform in social settings. Her musical pieces seemed like harmless compositions to everyone, but those in the know understood the true significance of every note. One of Vera's most remarkable feats came in late 1942. The Germans were planning a major military maneuver that could have catastrophic effects for the Allied forces. Vera managed to learn about these plans during casual conversations with German officers, who believed her to be just a harmless violinist. Knowing the urgency of the situation, she encoded the details of the plan into a concerto she titled Winter March. To the untrained ear, it was nothing more than a mournful melody. To her Soviet contacts, it was vital intelligence that would change the course of events. Vera played Winter March in a local cafe in Paris, where she knew one of her Soviet contacts would be present. While the Germans clapped and cheered, none of them suspected that they had just heard a devastating leak of their own military plans during a casual evening of music. The message was quickly decrypted on the Soviet side, and the Allies were able to prepare, ultimately thwarting the German offensive. What makes Vera's story even more remarkable is just how audacious such an act was. World War II was not forgiving to spies. The Nazis had a vast and highly efficient counter-espionage network. If Vera was caught, it wouldn't have just been her life on the line. She risked exposing her entire network. Nonetheless, she played on. Her ability to communicate critical information through music made her an elusive target who was never caught, even when the Nazis began suspecting that coded messages were being slipped past their defenses. Vera's story isn't just about espionage, it's about creativity, intelligence, and the power of human ingenuity to defy even the most oppressive systems. Music has always been a language capable of transcending borders and barriers, but Vera Kuras took that idea to a whole new level. Her work helped save countless lives and paved the way for more sophisticated methods of secret communication that would later come to define post-war intelligence. But why isn't Vera Kuras a household name like Ian Fleming's fictional James Bond or Virginia Hall? the limping lady spy of World War II? The answer may lie in the nature of her work. Soviet intelligence was highly secretive, and many stories like Vera's remained closely guarded after the war. It was not until decades later that historians began piecing together these hidden gems of history. While we may know only fragments of her incredibly brave life, what little we do know is nothing short of extraordinary. Think about it. Sitting in a crowded cafe, a young woman with a violin plays a stunning melody. Spectators see only the surface, a talented musician providing entertainment. Beneath the surface, a game of life and death is unfolding. Every note, every pause, tells a story of warfare, sacrifice, and survival. Vera Kouros turned an art form most associated with beauty and emotion into a life-saving tool of war. So, the next time you hear a classical musician performing, take a moment to think about Vera Kouros and her story. Music is a secret code. It sounds like something out of a spy thriller, but it was real, and it worked. Vera's life reminds us that history is filled with hidden gems, stories so ingenious and awe-inspiring that they feel like fiction. Yet, they are proof of the unbelievable bravery that ordinary individuals have shown in extraordinary circumstances. In the end, Vera Kouros survived the war and faded into relative anonymity. Her musical espionage remained largely unknown, but today, we honor her ingenuity and unwavering courage. She used something as universal as music to fight oppression and bring freedom to countless lives. How incredible is that? Thank you for joining us on this episode of Historical Hidden Gems. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more unbelievable stories from history. If you know of a hidden historical gem we should feature, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep uncovering the secrets of the past and finding inspiration in the present.